A team I worked with had a review loop for outbound customer emails. The model was supposed to say approve or reject. One Friday it wrote, "I would approve this after one small change." The regex saw approve, the sender saw green, and thousands of emails went out with a broken link. Nobody needed a smarter model there. They needed a handoff that could not be interpreted 3 different ways. That is the cost of treating prose like an interface. Your pipeline quietly becomes a guessing contest. Naive agent loops pass paragraphs between steps because paragraphs feel natural. Summarize this, decide that, then explain what to do next. It works in demos because you are watching closely and the examples are friendly. In production, format drifts. A decision moves from the first sentence to the last. The model adds a caveat. A list turns into bullets, then into a table. Your parser starts with a simple regular expression, then grows into a pile of exceptions that nobody trusts. Worse, every downstream step now depends on interpretation, not data. Prose handoffs are parsing roulette. Sometimes you win, sometimes you ship the wrong action. The pattern is simple. Define the schema before you write the prompt. Decide what the next step must receive in machine terms. Then make the model produce exactly that. The prompt is not the contract. The schema is the contract. For an LLM structured output step, I want named fields, types, required values, and tight decision options. Then every handoff is parsed, validated, and either accepted or repaired through a controlled retry. This turns a conversation into a pipeline. It also changes how you debug. You stop asking, "Was the answer good?" and start asking, "Which field failed and what rule caught it?" Mechanically, I build each step like this. First, name the step and give its schema a version, such as review.v1. Second, list required fields, decision, confidence, reasons, and next action. Third, make decisions enums, not free text. Approve, reject, needs review, not looks good to me. Fourth, call the model with the schema included or enforced by your model gateway if that feature exists. Fifth, parse the response as data, not as vibes. Sixth, validate types, required fields, enum values, length limits, and cross-field rules. If validation fails, retry once or twice with the exact validation error. After the budget is spent, use a safe fallback. Take a research loop. Step 1 reads a source and extracts claims. Step 2 checks each claim. Step 3 decides whether to search again or stop. If Step 1 returns prose, Step 2 has to guess where the claim ends and commentary begins. Instead, give Step 1 a schema, claim text, source URL, extracted quote, and uncertainty. Step 2 returns status as supported, contradicted, or insufficient evidence, plus citations and a risk level. Step 3 returns next action as search again, ask human, or stop. Now the loop can count unsupported claims, cap searches, and stop safely. The model can still be wrong, but the plumbing is no longer pretending paragraphs are records. Structured output does not make the model truthful. It makes failures visible earlier. You can get perfectly valid JSON with a bad citation or a confident wrong classification. That still needs verification. Schemas can also be too rigid. If you force every situation into 3 choices, the model may pick the least wrong enum and hide nuance. My opinion, keep decisions tight, but add a reasons field and a needs review path. Retries have cost too. A broken prompt can burn tokens repeating the same invalid shape. Put a retry budget on it. And treat schema changes like API changes. Version them, migrate consumers, and log which version produced each result. Structured output sits near the center of loop engineering. State management needs records it can store and reload. Budgeting needs fields it can count, like attempts used or searches remaining. Verification needs stable inputs, not narrative fog. Orchestration needs crisp routing signals, and enums are excellent routing signals. This episode is still foundations because every later pattern depends on it. If your handoffs are prose, your stop conditions are brittle, your logs are fuzzy, and your incident reviews become archaeology. With schemas, the loop has joints. You can inspect them, replace them, and set limits around them. Here is the 10-minute exercise. Pick one automation you already have, even a tiny one. Find the place where one step hands another step a paragraph. Write the smallest schema that would remove guessing. Include schema version, one enum decision, one confidence number if useful, and one short reasons array. Add validation in plain code. If parsing or validation fails, send one retry that includes the exact error, such as decision must be one of these values. If the retry fails, do not keep pleading with the model. Route to a safe fallback. Then log the raw output, parsed output, validation result. 3 beats to keep. First, prose is a bad interface between loop steps. It is fine for humans but risky as automation glue. Second, define the schema before the prompt. The schema is the contract. The prompt is how you ask for it. Third, validate every handoff. Retry only on specific schema misses, and fall back when the retry budget is gone. Use enums for decisions, 1 schema per step, and version those schemas like you mean it. This is episode 06 of Loop Engineering. New episodes land daily on this channel, moving from foundations to fleet-scale agent reliability.